Welcome back to day one of the 2021 National Championship here at the Proving Grounds in Philadelphia. I am Matthew Burrows here along with Ben Dantowitz, and we are still in the beginning of the day, still in our pool play matches. We have the second matchup of this pool for you guys is going to be Ritto boys, that is Coleman Epperson and Ryder Riva against Preston Buys and Caleb Heck of Boisterous. We're going to give you guys a quick little update on this morning, some upstats some coming through, some close games, some not close games. Ben, you want to start us off with these teams we're about to see here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're jumping over now. We were just watching Pool A action. This is Pool D. Ritto boys is the overall 4 seed, Boisterous number 5 seed overall. However, Ritto boys won their first match, but Boisterous dropped their first match to Low-Key in a tight 3-game series. They were the 9 seed coming in, so not a crazy upset.
Yeah.
Low-Key has actually lost a lot of close series in 3 games, so we know they've been ready to get a big win in their belt. Beating Boisterous in the first round, though, means Boisterous is now looking down the barrel of maybe the 3 seed coming out of their Pool G if they can't get a big win here against Ritto boys. A lot of scenarios we can start running over the course of this matchup, but wow. Already starting it off with a big upset by Low-Key over Boisterous.
Yeah, and dropping that low in the pool could mean a much harder route starting out in the bracket play. Definitely don't want to make a tough first round draw. I believe some other notable finishes in pool play from the first round. Hilltop won over White Spike Toxicity in 3 games. I don't think the third game was very close. Outside Smoke beating Thomas Hamilton and Ryan Gross in 3 games.
And actually, I think it might have been only 2 games, which is even more impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
So Outside Smoke really coming out to play, and Nationals getting a big W over a team that was mostly unproven in Hamilton Gross, but the bar was set very high.
Yeah, that's a good win. I believe we also had Naughty take a loss as well.
Yeah, versus Volley Llamas in 2
Llamas.
games, a nice 21-16, 21-16 straight games there. So a lot of action. This is all, of course, on foingo.io / 2021 Nationals. Yeah. So if you pull up the homepage on foingo.io, I think this will be very high on the list.
Yeah.
As long as you make sure your geographic region is close to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, for sure. I believe also before this match had started, Volley Llamas and Assistive Touch had already played their first game. Volley Llamas taking game 1 there, so a huge win for them. Likely the winner of that game will be the winner of the pool. Unless there is an upset later in the day. So a good win for Volley Llamas. We'll see if they can take the series or if Assistive Touch will come back in 3. And it looks like we're about to get this game underway. Ritto boys versus Boisterous. A little bit of a household matchup here. Preston Buys and Ryder Riva being roommates. Got to see who's on top. Preston sort of known for bringing Ryder into the game and sort of being his sensei per se. So we're going to see if the student becomes the master here or if Preston can hold that dominance.
And with the way that Ryder has been playing over the back half of the season, he's been one of the more lethal servers on scene, up there able to go right and left with a lot of really good action off the net with his cut serves. So unlike Heck and Buys, watching them at the end of their Low-Key series just now, they were not making the serves they needed to make, not looking like that clutch team, despite pushing extras in a really big way. They need to step it up in this series.
They did lose that last game in extras. I think it was either 23-21 or 24-22, or 22-20, sorry. In extras, I believe the point was lost based off of just a bad set, and they couldn't put the ball away on that. So a tough loss there for Boisterous, but a good win for Low-Key. So it looks like they're going to come into this next game with a lot of fire. Caleb Heck starting us off on the serve. Swinging hard, it goes high. Second serve out wide.
Quick adjustment puts it plenty clean.
Epperson looks like maybe wasn't expecting that. You didn't see him step right at all. That one's going to go nice and high. Ryder Riva looks like he wants to play it. Epperson says no.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of the big serves in this division. Really, everybody is a threat to ace on their second serve. So if you can ever play that first touch, always want to give it a look, give it a chance.
And that's going to be the double fault here for Boisterous. Again, like you were saying earlier, not showing the serving that they usually do. Riva, we're going to serve here. Heck, I think calls maybe a wrong score call in the field. We'll get it going now.
The game just started.
Can't keep track of the score.
Might be the spotlight. This is Riva Dinera's first time playing at Nationals.
Yeah.
Which is a wild thing, of course, with the pandemic last year. Riva Dinera getting a lot of reps, and all of a sudden he finds himself at a very high level. Very similar path, actually, to Gabe Finocchi, who qualified at the beginning of this year. Riva Dinera at least qualified late 2019 at West Regionals, when Regionals were still events.
A nice serve receive here from Coleman Epperson. Preston Bies tries to get the body up, but I think it's stuck under that arm just a little bit too
unable
much.
to open his hips all the way up to Heck, who's kind of trailing behind Epperson, that hidden defender. And you see them making some signals to each other, trying to work out some defensive schemes on the fly.
Epperson been working on his serving a little bit. I think he's been trying to add that lefty to his arsenal. We'll see if he can add some serving power to Ritto boys. And that's going to be a nice serve. A high call from Preston Bies.
Just getting a quick huddle from the observers to check on that.
And they have clean. So that will be an ace for Coleman Epperson. It looked like a nicely paced shot off the net and a good serve. So like I was wondering earlier, will he add the firepower? And it looks like he's going to start off with a ace break. So good looking for him so far. Second serve goes high. A good break for Ritto boys. Take one. Boisterous going to try to answer with one of their own. Epperson receives well again. The lefty off of Caleb Heck's body and a nice step back, and he's going to put it away right past Epperson. A great shot from Heck.
Cannot overstate the difficulty of that shot. You see the set coming back over Caleb Heck's shoulder, and he's turning and pulling the ball through the net. Usually you'd see players, as you see here, getting across from the set so they can see the ball coming in. He's just blindly, he knows where the set is, he knows where his feet are, makes a great play. That's such a high-level veteran move by former Nationals runner-up Caleb Heck.
A great shot. You can tell the experience he has, and the net awareness is just phenomenal.
Even funnier when you talk about Caleb Heck's experience, Nationals runner-up, even a youth national champion way back in the day, 2015 Nashville Nationals. Caleb Heck is the same age, give or take, maybe a couple months, as Ryder Riva Dinera. Both very, high-level players, elite players, but the gap in experience is just incredible for Caleb Heck. He's had so many partners through the years. Played with both of his brothers. Played with Joel Graham also in the pro division.
Preston Bies also not a newbie to the national scene.
Yeah. Heck's teammate, no slouch.
Yeah. Something wrong with Epperson's cleat out there, but I think he's going to manage. Second serve here from Bies.
Yeah, Bies one of only a few players to hit Nationals podiums upwards of 3 times.
That's going to be a drop on the net. Ryder Riva going for a very cheeky shot there. Just taps it off the net on 2. Almost lands on Epperson's foot, which would be a hitting error. Epperson got to put the ball in the net here. Force Boisterous to play. Second serve is a drop. Can't find it. I think we're looking for some good swings here from Heck. He has a lot of power with those long arms, and he gets one there. Pretty nicely received and wrapped behind it with a nice lefty from Riva.
If he can keep the ball low like that, for Heck, he gets so much spin on the ball that it usually likes to ramp up off the back net, for a pocket or a back pocket. As long as it stays below the shoulder and doesn't hit too much of that back pocket, he's in really good shape.
And wow, a great reverse cut there from Ryder Riva. And Caleb Heck, maybe, he has a lot of experience playing, but maybe not a lot of experience receiving reverse cuts specifically. He's been playing for a while, but maybe not as much this year. And with reverse cuts kind of on the rise this year and last year, hasn't received a lot of practice. I don't think he has anyone near him that he really practices with consistently that has a nice reverse cut.
Yeah, so. and on top of that, Boisterous is playing in just their 3rd tournament all year. We saw them in Rock Hill where they got their pro bid, and we saw them in California where they got humbled as they did there by Riva Dinera's serve. But this is their 3rd tournament of the year, so reverse cuts haven't even been around that long. So despite the pedigree, despite the national podiums we've seen Bies on, we saw Heck in 2019. It's a new game, and they've already dropped 1 series to low key earlier this morning. They need to get back in this one really quickly to make sure their mooring doesn't unravel.
Right. The game has evolved. We will see if they can adapt with it. And that's going to be a nice set from Bias. And a touch up from Riva. He's off net, but it's Butter. Coleman Everson diving over and pushing it away. A great shot. Boisterous nowhere to be found on defense.
Yeah, that soft touch, of course, a new rule this year. If the ball is on its way up, has not peaked in trajectory, you can take the second touch and set your teammate for the third hit. And it's advised to do it in a buttery fashion like that.
Absolutely beautiful. Gives Coleman a lot of time to look at his options, and he's just comfortable hitting the ball and then jumping over the net afterwards. And that's going to be another great break from Ritto boys, up 9-6 now. With another reverse cut from Riva, and he's just going to be taking names.
Good.
He is feeling hot out here. Boisterous might start looking for a timeout call if he's just getting too hot. Got to ice him out. Looking left, looking right, goes right, looks for the cut, doesn't find it. Could have been a little bit deadly there. Caleb Heck was on skates a little bit. Goes for reverse again, but it's going to be a little too high that time.
High. Rivadeneira thinks it's good. We'll have the observers check on the perspective there. And it is high, just barely. High, it's a very bang-bang call there. See the ball going just clear of his shoulder.
Preston Buys now got to get some breaks back for Boisterous. Looking to the right, doesn't find it. Second serve, looking to the left this time. Riva again taking those cheeky shots on two.
Side pocket the call there though.
Yeah.
So they'd called side pocket and opted not to play the serve. Got the call wrong. All of a sudden you're giving up a break on a pretty easy serve to receive. At least they handled it in 2 touches.
It's going to be a lefty drop this time out of Buys. And Riva does a great job of pushing that ball, keeping his legs straddled up on the net, making sure he doesn't pick a shot too soon.
Yeah, Riva's got, of course, that lanky volleyball frame, his sporting background of choice.
Coleman Everson now got to force some breaks back. Want to get that break back from that side pocket call. The ball's a little bit short. It's going to pop up. Riva can't quite run it down.
Yeah, it gets caught in that middle zone where you're not close enough to that to cut the ball off and you can't chase it down in time. So a little unfortunate, but that's also happening on the second hit there, so the defense didn't have time to really rotate into position and set themselves up. Heck, trying to get even, or close to even.
I'm not sure if he tried to reverse cut that or maybe just didn't make great contact.
I think like some people, instead of being a reverse attempt, it's probably just a mishit or a shank.
Yeah, most likely, but hey, you never know. Get in the lab.
Not going to take that away from anybody at this level of play. But the shanks still happen to the best of them.
Ryder Reaver back up to serve. This is going to be time to hold for Boisterous.
Yeah.
Want to stop him from serving as much as possible.
And Rivadeneira has been in his bag this morning, already with a slew of reverse cut aces going righty.
Boisterous get lucky with that double fault there. Don't have to hold. Buys with a fault of his own. Seen some pretty low serve percentages out here. A lot of drops on the net. A lot of second serves going on, but this first serve percentage is pretty low so far, as we have a double fault. Coleman Everson going to adjust the net real quick. Got to have it perfectly centered. 1 centimeter could be the difference between rimming or a beautiful front pocket, so you want to make sure that you are serving exactly what you've practiced over and over again. And that's going to be another double fault. Coleman Everson, I believe this is only his second nationals. He played with Zach Vance in 2019 as a part of Global Beans.
That's right.
Pretty good showing for them. They had that one insane play where they blocked the ball about 3 times onto the net. Back when there was no hit zone, it was a little bit easier.
Get up in there on defense, yeah. If you guys remember Clark Marshall's old teammate Andrew Card as Trippy Lizard.
Right.
That was a wild rally. Playing that back in my head right now. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that all across social. But yeah, Epperson, a little bit different of a defensive player now. Now that you can't do bean blocks, as they like to call them at the net, he's had to adapt.
Ryder up to serve again, going for the lefty. More double faults so far this game. Not a lot of service pressure right now, kind of in a lull of the game. one team's got to catch fire, start taking off. Otherwise, Ritto boys are just going to hold it through to the end. And Buys finds one, absolutely firing off to the right.
Take the advice of commentator Burrows there and getting this game rolling, trying to get back into it.
Yeah, that's all he had to do. Just had to hit a nice little ace past him.
Yeah.
No, it's a great serve from Buys.
Easier said than done.
Looks for maybe a little bit of reverse on that serve. Trying to mix it up, get in the bag. Pull out all the stops, goes for lefty here. Won't find it there, but a good break for Boisterous, you know. Get one back at a time. Keep the game as close as you can. But Ritto boys still within winning distance, that 2-point break. Everson finds front rim. And the mental game on double faulting over and over can be very frustrating. Sometimes you can feel like, you know, I'm not able to serve, I'm not able to get my serves on, and you can get in your head a little bit, but really just got to breathe and go back to your bread and butter and get those serves on the net. Everson won't find it here. Looking a little bit frustrated on the field. Definitely don't want to start taking that mentality early in this series. Caleb Heck with a nice reverse of his own. He's going to try to bowl it through.
Old dog learning new tricks there.
Yeah, and that was a great reverse. It jumped and it was fast.
It was super low too.
Yeah.
About shin high on a very tall Rivadeneira. That roll-up attempt though by Rivadeneira called clean. A little huddle there, so really big time hold there to keep the game with a 2-point advantage.
A great serve from Heck, but you know, that's what we were talking about earlier. Maybe Heck doesn't have the reverse cut receive experience, but it looks like Riva does.
Yep.
So able to hold that ball in a very crucial point. Could have been a tied ball game.
And that serve rolls up just a bit high on Heck as Buys goes shopping for the ace ball, of course.
Yeah,
that's what he's looking for.
I will note that all of the balls on the field started out as brand new. A nice reverse out of Buys himself. Everyone trying to get a reverse out here.
A little tip there.
Yeah, gets a little hand on it. But I will say all of the balls started the day brand new. So a lot of the balls starting off a little bit slicker when they're brand new. So players now starting to find that the balls have a little bit more grip on them.
And a violation there.
Called.
Yeah, might have been a foot drag, or Epperson may have fallen. Looks like a drag. Yeah, as you see observer Dan Abrams in the background letting him know what happened. You have to hold your back foot down. You can't drag it until the ball's hit the net.
Right.
Usually on cut serves, the ball hits the net instantaneously,
fast,
but on drop serves, you have to hold that follow through. Well, you can't follow through. You have to hold that.
Right.
You have to pause
you
the follow through.
You have to hold your stance, hold those feet on the ground.
Yeah.
And it won't matter anyways. Epperson finds the net on a
says,
nice
you want me to hold my toe? Okay, I'll hit it really fast.
And that is going to be a very nice break for Ritto to get some more cushion. Won't play that lefty.
Now 3.
Caleb Heck looked like he really wanted to play that one, but Buys opts not to. And that's going to be another great serve from
Buys is thinking high. You see the quick call from Abrams. It's definitely not too high. It's 19-15. Boisterous is very much in danger of dropping this first game and down the barrel of going 0-2 to start nationals.
Yeah, would not be a great start. Could lead to a very tough bracket draw, but a lot of other players on the field could be getting not the bracket they expected either. So it'll be very interesting to see how the bracket plays out.
Indeed.
Another drop from Epperson. Going to hit on 2. Epperson almost able to track it down, but maybe loses his balance. So Boisterous got to do something here to keep him in the game. 16-19.
And needs 3 breaks here on their next 2 serving rotations, and that's only assuming they don't get broken by Rivadeneira, which is, can't take that for granted either.
A big swing there from Heck. Finds front rim. Another one here is nice and high. And like you said, they got to hold here. Riva, the big threat so far on Ritto boys, taking a 4-break run at some point.
Only needs 1 here to end first game, but if
also,
you can line something up or work out maybe a lefty,
yeah,
could feel really good going into game 2.
Like I said,
lefty
a lefty
reverse?
Yeah, a little reverse action on it, but it's handled well, put away by Boisterous, showing that strong hitting. One thing out of Caleb Heck is that he is a very strong hitter, so if you see him with a ball on the net, he will likely put it away very fast and low with that right hand. So Buys looking to clutch up here at the end of this game. Goes for a lefty drop. Everson's there to scoop it up. It's right on his right hand. He's going to be able to pull that past Boisterous for the win in game 1 of this series. a good dub for
A really
Ritto boys.
commanding 21-17 win. It wasn't one of those wins where we saw earlier this morning sloppy seconds won and it was a lot of mistakes by Gold Diggers. It was really Ritto boys asserting themselves.
Right.
And this is the first time we've seen these two teams match up. We've seen a lot of fun rivalries where we had, Ritto boys playing sloppy seconds, a little bit of rivalry there, but this is the roommate rivalry. We've got Ryder and Preston. They live together out in California. They're part of How to Roundnet together. So they knew they wanted observers on this game, and they've got it. But right now, Ryder's the only one who's really getting his way.
Yeah, so, Ritto boys starting off very hot early in that game. Riva starting off with his own nice little 4-point run, getting them up to about 10-6, I believe the score was, up that 4-point break. Feeling nice and comfortable, win a little bit of a lull there. Preston tries to find a break back of his own. Coleman taking 2 or 3 breaks of his for himself. Ritto boys just looking very commanding. Didn't see a lot out of Caleb Heck on the serving side, but on his fundamentals, he's looking very strong. Got that defensive touch early in the game, which was huge. So there's not really too much to clean up. Maybe just need some more pressure on the net.
Yep. For Boisterous, it's really just their serve receives. If they can't answer those power serves that both Epperson and Riva were putting on, there's no shot that they have a chance of putting game 3 and getting the series turned around. But we've seen them adjust. They're excellent players. It's just nationals. It's the Pro Division. These guys are playing at a very high level. One thing I want to do really quickly is zoom out. We're in Pool D. We're going to look at Pool C, where we talked a little bit about some of the results coming in. Just saw in round 2, we talked about Volley Llamas in a tight matchup against Naughty, winning in straight games 21-16, 21-16. Foot Oswald just took the series in 2 games over Naughty, 21-19, 21-16.
Wow.
So we've got Ryan Fitzgerald, Jarrett Rouse, 2 legends of the game.
Yeah.
Talk about people who are multiple times, Spikeball elite, a couple times on the podium, between the 2 of them, and all of a sudden they're down 2 games in their pool draw. So
not looking too hot for them, dropping those games, especially at 21-19, a little bit closer, but 21-16's, not a great loss for them. They're gonna need to heat up in bracket play, otherwise it's gonna look like a first round exit, especially since they're gonna have most likely a very tough draw.
Yeah, a lot of excitement was around Naughty coming to nationals because in California, we may remember, they were knocked out in a close 3 games against one of the top seeds here, Double Clutch.
Right.
At that same tournament, they did get a win in bracket or in pool over Foot and Oswald. So Foot and Oswald turning the tables, making those adjustments on the day that matters at the national championship. Good for them. They've got one more match. They're going to be playing up against Volley Llamas later in the morning. So stay tuned to Fuango if you want to see if Foot Oswald can continue to string together some upsets. But that's a fantastic win for them. Good quality win. No other games have come through. We did see Gold Diggers beat Outside Smoke in the first game of the round 2, 21-13. So good for Gold Diggers after dropping the first 2 games in the morning. I talked to them a little bit, and they just felt like it was the first match, and they were feeling a little bit of those yips we talked about. Making some bad hitting decisions. They felt, they can make those adjustments moving forward. So they've asserted themselves and are going to try to salvage the 2nd seed in that pool if they can beat Outside Smoke and Gross Eggs and Ham.
Yep. Good win for them. A little bit weaker hits from their first game, but also playing sloppy seconds, which is also just a great defensive team as well. So you're going to get capitalized on those weaker shots. But what do you think Boisterous needs to do in this game defensively in order to get some of these touches? I know Ritto boys is hitting pretty well, but do you think there's anything they can do to help themselves on defense here?
That's a great thought. We talked a little bit about where they're positioning their funnel, their body closer to the net, and trying to make sure they're cutting off the appropriate angles. But I think they've got another level of serving to add pressure too. Against Low-Key, their first match, they did lose in 3 games, but they got a lot of really quality looks where Low-Key was off balance, whether it was a drop serve or go into the left hands. Both Buys and Heck can go right and left. So I think they need to open up more opportunities with the serves and then capitalize when those opportunities come up on defense. Because they had a lot of really good ups against Low-Key, and we haven't seen that same system here against Ritto boys so far. Yeah,
I think there's also a lot of times Boisterous might have been a little bit too close to that net per se, trying to hog it up a little bit, and the ball, not getting the touch, but the ball not going up, ball going down instead off that bottom of that arm. Could maybe stand to scoot back a foot or so, half a foot. Maybe could try that. Got a couple defensive breaks, but got to make something happen. The serve receive is going to be a lot harder to adjust than the defense.
Yep, absolutely. Especially if Riva is able to continue putting those lefts on. We saw him go lefty reverse at 2016, seemingly for fun, I would say. Whereas he had quite a few right hand, dominant hand reverse cut breaks earlier in the game. So if Riva continues to have his way, they might just be at the mercy of Ryder. But the players are getting set up for game 2, stretching out.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be ready to go. Epperson got a start camera of his own for the highlight video. Gotta have the clips ready to go. Try to submit it for a top play. If you ever have any content you want to send in to Spikeball, feel free to reach out to them on Instagram. Send them your awesome clips. They want clips of all skill levels. Even if you just started playing and you think you got a nasty backhand tweener or something like that, go ahead and send it in to Spikeball's Instagram. I believe they also have a content submission page. So if you ever have any great Spikeball content, feel free to send it their way. Riva starting off this game 2. Second serve, Riva wouldn't hurt to start hot in this game.
Not quite picking up where he left off.
I'll find it. Caleb Heck got to look for those low, fast serves.
Right on cue.
Yeah, Everson handles it well. And a nice body from Bai, as you see, he's a little bit
He's
further,
a little further,
off the
yeah.
net. Yep. Works well, gets a decent touch off of the abs. Maybe gotta, you know, get away from the gym a little bit. Can't have that shredded six-pack, makes his body too uneven. Bounces away from him.
Yeah, I have seen some players when they have a little more of a belly, they feel like the ball just pops up off that extra little roundiness, and if it's a flat washboard abs, the ball could go anywhere.
Yeah, you never know.
Makes Buddy Hammond's touches that much more impressive. That man is shredded.
He is a legend. But they will hold here on that serve receive. A drop here, Riva barely able to get to it, but does a great job. Carry called on
Epperson's set, I believe.
Epperson, or maybe the serve receive.
And
Not quite sure.
The set, it seems to be a little warped right now, so players are just tweaking it, making sure it's reset.
So that's a pretty nice break there from Boisterous. Able to get the point off of just a nice drop.
Yeah, a rare error. We saw a mostly clean Ritto boys in game 1. And with the numbers they put up against Graham Alter in their first series, I can't imagine they had many errors if they're holding them to 16 and 11 points across that series.
Yep, so they just have to stay clean here, and I think they'll be okay. I think if you're serving to Coleman Epperson here, you got to hit him with the heat, force him to make just that much more of an uncomfortable serve return. Try to get a weaker set and make the defensive play off of that. Riva serving here again. That's going to be a nice serve. I think Caleb Heck might have thought the ball was going to go wider.
He did. The ball hit him on his forearm, and that looked, from our perspective, like it was more of a topspin serve than a cut serve off of Riva Donera. He's just feeling too good. He can threaten so many things that it's not only an execution game, it's now a mental game of what do you think is going to happen. And much like when a baseball hitter is sitting on a pitch, you might be thinking one thing's coming, and all of a sudden it's off speed, or it's just a fastball, just right at you. It's not moving.
And another nice serve from Riva, and that one goes wide.
That one definitely went wide. That was definitely a cut serve. Not just a step out top spin.
And that's the hardest part, is he's able to disguise his serves very well. So you sort of have to wait until the ball hits the net and it moves to decide which way to serve receive. You know, it could be reverse, could be cut, could be a little bit more of a jam.
And as the ball's moving on the net, it's not even going to move a discrete amount. It might move a little bit and then continue moving on the net. So you see the change as it's coming, and all of a sudden you have to pretty much pick the ball up after it hits the net, not even while it hits the net.
And another great lefty out of Riva, starting off hot here.
Yeah, that first quick break from Boisterous looks really pale in comparison to 3 in a row.
Riva looking both ways, going right, finds the backside of the net.
That smooth rhythm, just moving back and forth. Looks like he's just dancing side to side in the wind.
He might be trying to lull the receiver into a sense of comfort, and then he just rips one right past you. He'll step back this time, looks for the left, but finds side pocket, and it goes a little bit high. So a great run from Riva. Boisterous need to answer with some breaks of their own. Caleb Heck here to serve. A nice little reverse. Coleman thinks it's high. No disagreement from Boisterous. Second here, goes for it again, won't find it. The first one turned quite a bit, so that can be a little bit scary, especially if you can keep that heat on.
Epperson trying to mix in the offhand.
A left of his own. I think he started doing that in California, so a very recent development, that left hand, but maybe not too consistent yet.
Yeah, more of something to play off as a fake, maybe being able to set or set up or drop left-handed. So you see Epperson goes that really close-up touch. Can't quite angle it to Riva.
Yeah, gets a decent touch, doesn't get a lot of height. So Riva, yeah, not able to track it down. A nice lefty out of Buys, but received well by Riva into the body of Buys.
And that's that next level receiving that you need to have at this top level. Riva De Niro is giving and taking those lefty serves, but he's getting much better exchanges there. He's getting the receives up, he's getting the hits put away, versus Boisterous is not handling these serves as well. And that's the difference, is that first touch needs to be so crisp at this level.
Second serve here from Riva. Looking to go on another run. Fakes left, goes high. Won't find it there, so Boisterous still hanging on here, 6-7. Still early in this game too. Swings hard, won't find the net. Epperson looks like he's standing a little bit further away, could go for a drop. Again, won't find it. Heck, looking a little bit frustrated out there. And again, it's like we talked about that mental game of just getting a little bit too frustrated with your serves, and that could throw you off.
All of a sudden you're missing hits.
Yep. Making errors, losing points.
But he's also thinking bigger picture, right? Heck's having a hard time. You have to compartmentalize. I just need to win this point and to win this game, because if you start, getting into your head about, oh, I lost the series against low key, and now I don't even know how I'm gonna have to play. But they probably are playing really hot. If I'm playing in the bottom of my pool, I have to play a top seed. So it's not time to run scenarios. We'll leave that to the pundits. But Buys is trying to keep them close.
Again, Riva just serve receiving very well and not able to make that body come up softly enough. They might need to try to switch their defense. Right now, it looks like Heck or Buys is behind the body, or sort of to the side of the body like a funnel. They might need to change it a little bit more of assistive touch style, where they play across from each other. A little
more
bit
like
of
a mirror. Yeah. Because you're very familiar with mirrors, formerly of Y-Spike mirror stage.
That is me.
Which means you were contractually obligated to play with only one defensive scheme.
Yep.
Mirror, of course, being you play across your teammate, so that if you've seen assist touch, the ball goes up off of your teammate's body, and then you can set them. Instead of the funnel is more to force the ball to be hit towards your teammate instead of playing it off of them. But it starts with a serve and play. Nope.
8-9. I believe there was a high call.
They've been high.
And that one's not going to be high. Great serve from Caleb Heck.
Little discussion of whether it was near net or the front rim.
There might be a rim call on the field. Going to go to observers.
They signal rim. That's that arm. That's that fist on the forearm.
Yep.
Signaling the ball hitting the rim.
Oh, it looks like they called clean now.
They call clean. Okay, so
taking back their initial thought, maybe got a little bit confused on the call.
I mix up those signals all the time myself, so it's understandable.
But that's huge for Boisterous here.
Yeah.
They're now tied up at
Big
9s.
swing.
And that's the momentum they need. A good serve, especially for Caleb Heck here, who has not been able to find his serve so far in the series. Getting a nice ace on the field will be great for his mental game. He does double vault here, but taking one more point to keep this game close is going to be huge, especially if Ritto boys can start getting in their head. Coleman Everson going to look to take it back. And finds almost a sneaky one. Probably a rim, just wow, just a great shot there.
That was the most perfect receive of my life.
And we're gonna get Ritto boys up here, 11-9, a good break from Ritto boys.
That literally hit me dead center.
Coleman Everson taking a break of his own. He's going to step out right here again. Almost finds it. Finds a back rim instead.
Just going to bring you some breaking news. We just are tracking some live scores in on Fuego.io.
Ooh, and that's going to be a little bit of a jam. Riva almost finds a body.
Fantastic set there from Biza to recover. It was a really challenging first touch. We mentioned at the beginning of this matchup that Volley Llamas took the first game over Assistive Touch 21-18. Assistive Touch did answer back 21-18 with a game of their own, but Volley Llamas took that series in 3.
Wow.
22-20, which is very exciting for them.
Close game
they go into their last matchup 2-0. They're going to play Foot Oswalt, ostensibly for the 1 seed coming out of Pool C. Meanwhile, Nadi at 0-2 is going to be playing Assistive Touch, who's 1-1 for what could be the 2 seed in that pool. If there's a lot of 3-way tie scenarios that could happen in those matchups.
Riva with a nice reverse. It's nice and low. I think a carry call is called on the field.
Off of Bai's left hand. It's a very tricky real-time call. He's sticking his left hand down and the ball's coming up. And they do call a carry there.
And that's going to be, and Preston says, I think he agrees. He wasn't quite sure, but it's easily convinced. So a great break there from Ryder. Riva with the fast reverse is very low, probably hitting that near net and just, you know, dying on the net. Preston Bice maybe expecting it to pop up a little bit higher.
I'm just thrilled to see the players are receptive to feedback from the observers. Maybe sometimes players will get chippy with each other, but it's good to see they're not getting chippy with the observers.
Another interesting score that popped up, low-key, barely taking game one over Graham Showalter, 21-19. So Graham Showalter maybe heating up a little bit, trying to, if low-key drops a game after beating Boisterous, it could.
Yeah, don't forget, Peter John Showalter has the most national championships out of anybody in the Pro Division. Don't forget that. He's got 3 in a row from 2017 through 2019. Of course, all with his former teammate Tyler Chiswick. And Joel Graham has not seen a national championship podium since 2014. That was in Santa Monica.
Yeah, so can't get him out there. That could lead the pool to another, you know, 3-way tie scenario, like you said earlier.
Yeah, a lot of exciting scenarios that we'll definitely break down as we see the second games come through, and we'll know what's on the line for a lot of last games, what potential brackets are. But for now, Eberson's just trying to put this series away in 2.
Can't find the net.
Ritto boys does control their destiny, of course. If they can just win out, they'll have the 1 seed coming out of Group D.
Vice here with a nice wide left. Eberson's able to track it down. It's on the opposite side of the net. Eberson, you know, that diving over the net shot with the righty pull or push, I mean, he looks pretty comfortable in that position. So nice, easily put away for him. A great serve receive on that nice wide left.
See, we don't have full audience in the background here. Some players who are hopping over. There are 9 divisions in play today.
Yep.
Have wrapped up their pool play matches. They're on lunch break, and what a lunch break it is to get to watch, you know, the number 4, number 5, and also the 4th and 5th seed teams in the world.
Right.
Just casually playing their pool play match at Nationals. What a treat for them. What a treat for us.
Also, a sort of new factor right now, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Could be a little bit effective like that. Gets the ball just a little bit wider. Riva goes for a drop, but Heck's able to scoop it up and push it away nice and low. Like we said, Heck able to just put those balls away.
Great shot off the fingertips. Gets just enough topspin for the ball, jumps low, stays there. But a really good set there from Riva Denera and Coleman Epperson there. Managing the wind, as you were saying, right on cue.
Right.
Even those micro adjustments when you're tossing the ball, these guys are hitting the ball within, they're looking for squares. They're playing with centimeters on the net. And when the wind is just a little bit gusty, that means that toss has to be that much crisper. Your hand contact has to be very intentional all the way through to make sure it lands. Riva Denera just told Epperson something. What do you think he said?
I think he's got to try to hit him with the lefty. But we'll see. I think he's probably just telling him, you know, mix it up, put it on the net. Let's try to, you know, it's a little bit windy out here. Maybe we can force him to make some errors.
So is it more like a let's just play defense kind of motivation?
Probably sort of thing.
Ooh.
And it looks like they get a touch
Almost
there, but won't find
Nothing
it.
of quality.
Playing closer to the net, you don't usually see Coleman that close to the net, but maybe just didn't have enough time to rotate the way he wanted to. Almost gets a nice body up.
Yeah, we talked about how he can't do those beam blocks anymore inside the no-hit zone. And of course, you can't defend inside the cylinder of the net either. That would be a violation last point, as Riva Denera uses that length to skip over the no-hit zone.
Able to push it and just take that big step. You see his bright red cleats, so it's very easy to see where his feet land.
Yeah, caught him red-footed if he ever steps in the no-hit zone, that's for sure.
Riva Denera looking to take a break. Finds front rim. It's an easy ball for Boisterous. The ball comes up, but won't get back to the net.
Those first touches are getting just a little bit closer to Ritto boys for that second touch opportunity, but still not able to convert. Mostly relying on their ace ball, but Boisterous is within 1 here.
Kivek looks maybe for a little bit of reverse.
Yeah.
Finds side
Might have been a side pocket.
Second serve here needs a big one. It's going to go short. Epperson losing balance maybe a little bit, but the fault will come through. He
Eating
will be
a big
safe.
one and missing a little one there.
Epperson maybe electing to put the ball in the net. A nice low serve with some pace. Caleb Heck again going to rip it away.
Can't say enough how great of a set that is from Baez. Heck is getting really challenged on that receive, and the ball is pretty low. It's coming off his hands with a ton of spin because Epperson's imparting so much power on it, and Baez is just centering the ball like it's just a walk in the park. And of course, Heck is doing his job with the put away, but all the credit goes to that fantastic set for him to settle, give Heck time to get to the net.
Baez here switching sideways now. Looking for maybe a step out or a step back. Going drop. Riva's there to scoop it up. It's right over the net. Pushed into the body of Baez. Heck, able to make a touch on it, but it's a little bit too fast, a little bit too wild. Won't be able to control it. Riva going to go shopping for balls now as he wants a nice one to try to end this game with. 19-17. We are close to the end of this game. The ball is going to shoot off to the right. Preston Baez not able to get that ball up in the air. Gets a little bit past his fingertips, so game point here for Ritto boys. Looks for reverse, won't find it. Ball's up, he'll get one more chance to try to end the game right here. It's a nice serve, it's low. Not too well handled. The set's just a little bit too far on the other side of the net, and that will be Ritto boys taking the series in 2 over Boisterous. Boisterous now 0-2.
Yeah, just too many challenging serve receives there. They weren't clean enough on the serve receive. We talked about Baez making a great set there before. That one, a lot to ask for. He tried to get it some loft, but he was putting a little too off center. Ultimately, serves like that we see from Riva de Nero right here were the story of that matchup. Not really challenged themselves. They made their serve receive look very easy, very comfortable on offense, Ritto boys. So big ups for them. They're going to have a matchup against Low Key. We don't know if Low Key has won their matchup against Graham Showalter, but either way, it should be to take the 1 seed in that pool.
Yeah, it'll be a very interesting matchup. We will be right back with another series in just a little bit, so stay tuned with us. We'll be right back in 3 minutes with more Roundnet action.